having not read the comics growing up, I was kind of astonished at the existence of Superman robots and big kaijus and super dog.
I think a lot about a moment. Eddie Gathegi, who plays Mr. Terrific, and I were shooting a scene together in quite a big, unusual set. And it felt pretty otherworldly. And there's a tool that they use for VFX, and on one side of it, it's a ball, and on one side of it is gray, and the other side is a mirror, and they spin it back and forth for some reason I don't understand. And at some point, they turned it towards Eddie and I, and Eddie gasped and grabbed my arm, and I thought something had gone wrong, and I said, what? And he went, I just saw us in the movie. And he got really emotional, really moved, and it made me really emotional. He just said that in that moment he saw us in the movie the way that audiences would see us, the way that kids would see us, and especially Mr. Terrific is a character who's really not been seen like this before. It was one of those little moments where you get pulled outside of the thing you're in and remember what you're doing and why you're doing it.
James and I had a sort of a back and forth, a little bit of an argument about how to play a little bit of the scene that I was delivering to Nick, and we really went at it. We went back and forth. I sort of stormed off the set to where he was sitting to go toe to toe with him and have it out. And at one point he said one sentence that just clarified it all to me. It made perfect sense. I said, I've got it. I went back and I did it again. And there's always a great sense of accomplishment when that happens. Some real collaboration, where it feels like you're working really hard, both working really hard to just try to make the movie as good as it can be. And so I felt a little bit of relief, and I remember looking at Nick and thinking, okay, great, we got that. And then as I stepped off set, James came in, and he was crying, he was tearing up. And it hadn't occurred to me how much that moment meant to him. That sort of illustrated to me just how much James loves making movies and loves collaborating with actors, and not to mention his crew and everybody else, but it just meant so much to him, I think, that we cared as much as he did about the movie and about these characters and about telling this story. I didn't know how big Superman's world is. Having not read the comics growing up, I was kind of astonished at the existence of Superman robots and big kaijus and super dog and all of the pocket universe, all of these things that felt very new to me. Luckily, James, caring so much about the material and the movie and the story, he loves talking about it as well. So we had a lot of long conversations, and wanting to share that vision with us made me kind of just give over to him and I said, look, you're in charge of this ship, and I'll give you everything I've got, but I'm going to trust you to guide me and tell me where I need to go. And that turned out to be the greatest experience I've ever had making a movie.
It felt like such a gift to be able to fall into the arms of somebody who has your back, who's gonna push you to be better, who's gonna laugh with you and celebrate with you in the way I think we've talked about. It was just so much fun.
Inspiring, magic, and joyous.